Now to NBC5 Investigates in our continuing series, Dismissed. Early this year, our investigative team first exposed just how few people accused of sex crimes in Chicago actually get convicted. A minuscule 1.5% of people arrested for sex crimes in the city are found guilty of a sex offense, sent to prison, and made to register as a sex offender.
But there's another group of people arrested for sex offenses and found guilty, but they're not on the sex offender registry. Here's Bennett Haeberle.
We'll call them ghost offenders. In our months of research, we found scores of people arrested for sex crimes, but who pleaded guilty to lesser crimes like disorderly conduct or unauthorized videotaping, leaving them with no record of an alleged sex offense. Case in point, a former Chicago school teacher who we told you about more than a week ago after he was arrested again for an alleged sex crime.
I'm coming forward for the fact that I also need some form of closure to this, and it doesn't seem like there's closure.
He asked that his identity be withheld because he's one of more than 24 victims of Elliot Knott, who secretly recorded his colleagues in 2016 while working at Ogden Elementary in Chicago's Gold Coast. These records, filed as part of a civil lawsuit, show Knott confessed to a therapist that he'd hidden a motion-activated camera in a faculty bathroom and pointed it at the toilet. The therapist notified law enforcement. Knott was fired and charged with multiple counts of unauthorized videotaping, plus one count of child pornography, because his camera also recorded a special education student using the bathroom.
I felt extremely violated. I know my colleagues felt violated. I personally had to seek therapy for it for quite a while afterwards.
NBC5 Investigates found Knott had been convicted of a misdemeanor peeping Tom offense when he was 18 and later admitted to a prowling violation in New Hampshire after he was caught peeking through a woman's bathroom window. But neither of those were considered sex offenses when Knott was hired by Chicago Public Schools. In court for the Ogden case, Knott pleaded guilty to 26 counts of unauthorized videotaping. The child porn charge was dropped. Knott received 2 years probation, no jail time.
I did not feel like what this was called in court, what it was being labeled as, was illegal videotaping.
To you, what was it?
It's a sexual act.
Because that child pornography charge was dropped, Elliot Knott was not required to register as a sex offender. But as part of his probation, a judge ordered that he must attend sex offender therapy classes, in essence, treating him like a sex offender without requiring him to register. And we found he wasn't alone. NBC5 Investigates found 97 similar cases in Cook County Court in recent years where someone is arrested for a sex offense, but in court they plead down to a non-sex-related crime, so they don't have to register as a sex offender and get only probation and no jail time. Yet as part of that probation, they're ordered to get therapy specifically designed for sex offenders. We talked to State's Attorney Kim Foxx about this issue this past spring. Is the watering down to something that's not a sex crime, is that just?
Again, if we can get accountability, if it's a not guilty versus you have to do some type of sex offender services, if it's you just get to walk and it is in essence everything that you've gone through a judge or jury has said didn't happen at all versus something else, that's accountability.
But this victim doesn't see that working for Knott.
When do you say enough is enough? And this has been going on since he was in his late teens, and he's been doing things, and it's been getting more and more severe.
In fact, in a lawsuit Knott filed against the therapist who'd alerted police about his videotaping at Ogden, we found her notes about their sessions, where she quoted Knott as saying, quote, "I do things, then I don't for a few years. Then I do something else. I sometimes feel like I won't get in trouble. Then sometimes I feel the potential huge consequences." Knott settled his lawsuit with the therapist. He also completed his sex offender therapy and probation in 2021 and remained off the sex offender registry as he continued to live on the city's northwest side. Fast forward to earlier this month, Knott was arrested for exposing himself to 3 girls, ages 10, 9, and 7.
Why was he able to walk around? Why are other people able to walk around in his similar situation?
Elliot Knott has been charged with 3 counts of child exploitation and has yet to enter a plea. His attorney declined to comment. Chicago police issued a notice asking for other alleged victims to come forward. Knott is expected back in court next week. For now, he remains in custody. Bennett Haeberle, NBC5 Investigates.
All right, Bennett, thank you.